Hi guys, so you're thinking about doing barefoot running or wearing minimalistic running trainers? If that's the case, then this video is for you. So I'm going to give you some top tips, my 6 top tips to make that transition from a normal trainer to a more barefoot or minimalistic trainer. Okay, and basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the fundamentals that you need to do and the little checklist as well to make sure that that transition period is as pain-free as possible, or we do not get injured along the way. So guys, I'm William Stockbridge, this is Build a Better Runner. Let's get into it. So in no particular order, number 1 is take it slow. So when you're making that transition over from a normal trainer over to more of a barefoot style trainer, is to take it slow. So you wouldn't expect to go to the gym with your buddy John that's lifted weights for the last sort of 3 years and go straight in there and lift 100 kg to 140 kg for reps. The same thing applies to this. Okay, so the slower that progression into the barefoot running style, the better. Okay, so there's an analogy that I like to use, and it's quite a common one, and that is walk before you can run. Okay, so guys, that's tip number 1. Right, secondly is range of motion. So we've got to really think about, have you got that range of motion within the foot and the ankle complex to actually pull this off. Okay, it is something that you can work on anyway, but you do have to be assessed for this just to make sure that you got that nice smooth transition period as good as possible and give yourself the most success going forward with it. So what I normally see is the dorsiflexion is quite tight, so you haven't got that movement pattern. And obviously if the movement pattern is not there, it will pick it up elsewhere, which will lead to an injury in the first place. And also you're looking at if you're stuck in a kind of pronation and you haven't got much supination. Sometimes a lot of people are stuck there as well, okay? And sometimes you've got that flatter foot. It could be a problem with the foot or further up the kinetic chain, but that is not for this video. So that's something to look at. And also within the feet as well, the metatarsals, you haven't really got that movement pattern within the foot. It's been basically put into a solid shoe most of its life, and it just lacks that movement. Okay, so they're the fundamentals, and in terms of movement patterns and ranges of motion that you need to get before you actually put this shoe on. So thirdly is, do you have the strength? So do you have the strength within the foot complex, within the lower leg region, and in your glutes and your core? Okay, so fundamentally, if you do have a weakness in any of these areas, it is going to show up when you go on to barefoot running. Okay, so it's like anything, I would recommend before you go barefoot running, or at least before you put the minimalistic trainers on, do some actual strength work for your feet, for your lower legs, and for the glutes and the core if you're not already. Okay, so you're going to give yourself a good starting point. So obviously we covered the range of motion before, that's highly important. The next step would be, have you got the strength to actually pull it off and pull it off within that range of motion. So if you're new to that range of motion that we talked about before, it will be that you're going to lack strength within that range of motion. So even though you've created that range of motion, now we've got to add the strength. So guys, definitely do that and definitely work on that. Again, I will add some videos and I will add some links below as I do the videos, just making sure that you're working on these fundamentals to get the best success possible when going barefooted or minimalistic. And number 4 is listen to your body. I can't emphasize this enough, okay? It goes with any kind of training plan that you have. If anything doesn't feel right, you feel like you have a little niggle coming on, don't follow the plan. So if it says 5 minutes, then 10 minutes the following week, and so on and so forth, and you feel that something's not right, do get checked out and do reassess, or get someone to assess you as well. Okay, so and that'll go for all of your training. Like I said, it's not set in stone. It's something that you can adjust and adapt as you go along with a plan. Okay, so that's probably number 4 and a good one to stick to. it will help you as well when it comes to running, okay, as well. So you get more in tune with your body and you listen to what's happening with it and you adapt appropriately, and you'll be more consistent with your running and more consistent maybe with barefoot running as well, and stick the course. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, do like and subscribe, and I hope you're getting some good value out of this as well. So moving forward, we're going to go on to running drills now and plyometrics. So I'm going to mix these two together. They're quite similar in their in the way they're put together and the movement pattern that we're doing here. So guys, it's definitely something that you're going to need to work on when it comes to doing barefoot running, because basically it's that kind of elastic energy that you're going to be getting into, and your foot complex, ankle complex and lower leg is really going to need to, and even the glutes, is going to need to be responsive to your movements. Okay, so when it comes to running in a more minimalistic to barefoot running style, you do kind of tend to go more towards the ball of the foot, maybe a slight heel glance like I've said before in other videos, but definitely more kind of on the ball of the foot, and there's a lot of pressure going through there as well. So we've got the range of motion, we've got the strength. Now we want to build up the connective tissues, the fascia and everything, and really get that sort of like that nice elastic energy that's nice, sharp and responsive. Next one would be to protect your feet, obviously. So obviously you probably did expect trainers to be in a barefoot running video, but it is something that we need to do. Our skin is not thick enough to protect ourselves out there. There's glass and other nasties about, so it's definitely something to put on your feet to protect your feet and maybe make that transition a bit more as well. Okay, so there's 3 trainers that I use when I run. It's entirely up to you how you do this, but obviously it is something that you need to be aware of when you're protecting your feet. Okay, so the first one is basically if I feel that I'm getting a little bit of a niggle in the ankle or the calf complex, and I feel that there's maybe a tightness coming on as well, I will jump up to a more sort of like heel to toe drop. Okay, so something that's maybe got that little, takes the pressure off that area a little bit, just as that passes. I like the Brooks for that one. Okay, so the Brooks with the big toe box on there. Okay, they've got quite a few of them, and in fact all of the brands now have big toe box trainers, so definitely look at that if you're looking to buy another trainer to maybe go into for that transition period and get more movement within the toes as your feet get a little bit fatter with the barefoot style. You want that movement pattern and you want to be still strengthening in those areas as well. Okay, so the other 2 trainers that I like to use is the Vivobarefoot. I love these trainers. They are a bit clownish, but once you get over that, they're absolutely fine. They are a little bit harder on the bottom, but again, they do allow your feet and your toes to spread out a little bit, and also to get that movement pattern in there as well. And they're brilliant to run in. I do my shorter runs in these ones basically if I'm off-road as well. If I am on road, I do go to the Brooks because I just like that little bit of extra cushion when I'm on the tarmac. And then I've obviously got my Vibram, so these are amazing. I love these. These are even more minimalistic than the last ones. Okay, so as you can see, they're really flimsy. There's not much there, and they call it a 5 fingers, but obviously it's toes, but anyway, that's another thing. But if you do get these, I do recommend that you do get some socks with them, because they do smell quite quickly. Okay, so buy some socks if you're going to buy these. I'd highly recommend these. You don't have to run in these. It's something that you will still get that benefit from if you walk around. So I walk around the gym in these. Sometimes in the winter it gets a little bit cold in these ones, so I'll put these ones on. But I walk around the gym floor and the clinic floor, and I find that I find that it just strengthens your foot as you're walking around. Again, that's something that you have to progress into as well. If you wear these all day, you might get a few aches and pains. So do ease into them. So take your other shoes with you or your other trainers. Okay, so guys, hope you enjoyed these videos. I tried to put as much content in there. I'm sure there's other stuff to do with the barefoot kind of movement or the barefoot minimalistic kind of tips, and they will come up, and I will actually go over them as well in the future. I am going to leave some stuff below so you can link on to maybe some of the trainers, the socks, and I'm going to put some stuff in there all about the running that you need to do and the movement patterns. And there's going to be other stuff on this channel anyway. Okay, so if you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos. Okay, and I will see you in the next video.